Tyga DM me off of Instagram, like a literal link, like T Raw at T Raw, like sent me a link to my own channel. It had like 10,000 views and it said, "Dis hard, send a pack." It's like you never know who's watching, like at all times. Like,
What's up, guys? It's your boy Dillo Pillow. Today I'm here with Pilotkid and Stoic Beats, and we're going to be talking about their career and journey as producers so far. Do you guys want to start off by introducing yourselves?
for those who don't know me, producer named Pilotkid. I've worked with a lot of different people. Most recently, Bryson Tiller, Snot's last album, Joey Badass, IDK, Quadeca, a lot of things came up off the YouTube. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, I just like making beats.
He likes making beats. What's up, guys? I'm Stoic. So I got songs with like Bryson Tiller, IDK, Snot. I got songs with no one actually, but I've been working on my own kind of solo stuff with artists that I have around me and like my group of peers. That stuff's been going good. I'm Stoic on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to music. Yeah, same thing. I started making beats on YouTube about a little over 3 years ago, like pretty seriously, and it's been my job ever since.
Cool. Yeah, that's where I was going to start. When did you guys start and why did you start?
Started in 2015 because I don't know. I don't even know if I knew what making beats was until like I went to my friend's house and he had a garage band and like we made like just like for fun, like just stupid like dumbass songs just to like do nothing over. And then like I saw the video of J. Cole making a beat on his tour bus. So I was like, if he could do that, I could do that. And then I just bought everything in that video. We ended up here. YouTube was mainly because I come from born and raised in California, but my hometown is like no music scene, nothing going on, like very, very small town. So like for me, that was my only option. And then took off in less than a year, moved to LA, and then here we are.
For me, I remember it just kind of started as a hobby. I've been making music all my life, like playing guitar. I was in a band in high school, but I saw a video of one of Kendrick Lamar's producers working on Good Kid, Mad City, and he was using this thing, this little beat pad, and it looked really fun what he was doing. So I was like, let me try that. And, fast forward however many years later, and like I've still been doing it with the same amount of like happiness, which I think is awesome. Like I can't ask for anything more. So
I think that's cool how you both like mentioned like just one specific moment that you saw somebody else doing it and it kind of just sparked it for you. That's definitely how it can be, for sure. So how was it like starting off? When did you like guys decide it was like this is what you think your career would want to be?
I didn't know until about 2 years ago, but short story of it is I was in college for nursing. So I was on track to be a nurse. I had one semester left. Ended up failing one class by like 2 points. They held me back the entire year because that's how the school worked. So I just had so much time. I was like, damn, like, what am I going to do with all this time? And I still had that YouTube channel going, but it was just like a little hobby. I've had maybe like 200 subscribers. So I was like, let me go crazy. And I started posting every day, even twice a day while I was in college, still just taking like BS classes. And it started to pick up so much to the point that when I was actually ready to graduate, I was making, as much as a nurse would be making at the time. And I just kind of thought about it and I was like, maybe I could just do this. And my parents really supported me. They were like, why don't you move out to California, try to make it in music? And yeah, that's kind of how that happened. At the time, I was really upset about failing the nursing thing, but it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me. So I can't complain there.
I know that story, but I still like listening to it all the time. I think I always knew, like, I was just very involved in music, like since a kid. Like, been playing guitar since like middle school, and I was a band geek in high school. So like, I never really saw myself doing anything else, and like, I could never really take shit serious, like in general. So I don't know, like, I kind of always knew, and like, I was supposed to go to college. I ended up going to college on a music scholarship, but I majored in psychology. Mine was the opposite. My parents were like, nah, like you're not just about to make music. Like that makes no sense. So for me, I was like, all right, well, it's not going to be real until it's real for them. And they still don't understand what I do. But like my whole college career was just me trying to do it. And then like towards the end is when so I was rapping. And then towards the end, I was like, Oh, I was producing my own album. And then I had all these beats. Like I wasn't trying to do YouTube at all. I was just trying to do it like the old fashioned way, I guess. And then I had all these beats laying around. So like as a rapper, I knew to go on YouTube for beats. So I just posted them, and then like they started going crazy. And then so I started focusing on that. And then by the time I came around to graduate, like this was all during my senior year. My plan in the entirely was like still to move in with my friend who already lived in LA. And like, bro, I was gonna live like in his like I wasn't even gonna have a room. I was gonna sleep on like the couch and like I was like, I don't care, bro. I'm gonna figure it out, whatever. Luckily I didn't have to do that because by the time I graduated, um, I was self sustaining from music and then I moved out to LA.
But how you feel? Can you keep it real? Roses in my grill, flowers in the field, even in the grave, cause that's where I'm chill.
You know, there's kind of like a stereotype against like YouTube beats. I don't know, positive or negative, but you know, you can turn it into something. So how did you guys go from doing that and then turning it into like, you know, an income?
It was just really it's just getting an audience and like rappers are always gonna need beats. So once you find enough people to like buy your beats and like if you're good, like this is a dumb answer, but if you're good, people are gonna find it, and then after a while it just builds on top of itself. So like I never paid for marketing or anything. Like I didn't do any real serious like hacks or anything. Like the extent of it was like trying to figure out like keywords on like the YouTube game, but I don't know if that's a hack as much as just like strategy. I don't know. It just like it just happened. I wish I had like a step by step answer, but it was just like staying consistent, and that's it.
Yeah, it's just definitely the consistency. I think it's almost a fact that anyone that loves music and has patience can do this. Obviously, there's a bit of luck involved in a ton of ways. Consistency over time, like it's almost impossible to fail. A big thing that helped me was literally just copying the people that I saw that were succeeding on YouTube, seeing what they were doing, kind of copying that. I mean, I know guys that I stole like so many like beat formats and like upload like schedules from because I saw that it was working for them. So I was like, all right, well, you know, why not me? And also in terms of that stigma against the YouTube producers, I think guys like I won't include myself in this, but I think guys like Pilotkid, I think guys like 18, I think dudes like that, Eerie Skies, I think those dudes are kind of helping to break that. Like they're making some very unique stuff. And back then, I think the YouTube producer stigma started probably in like the early 2010s. Those beats, I remember a lot of them because I used to look up beats and I remember a lot of trash beats. And now it's gotten to the point where the playing field is so level, like you can hear like someone making industry standard stuff with 200 subscribers and they're 14 years old and they live in, you know, South Korea or somewhere like all the way, you know, far away from America. So I think that the stigma's kind of it may go away.
2 points off of what you said. The copying thing was like definitely like I definitely used to copy Stoic all the time,
Mm.
and like I think I told him before too. It was like he was the only person that had like a similar like just like off kilter sound, like off the norm, off the rip. So I used to be like that was like I was like, dude, all right, I just gotta like take this guy out. I gotta make better beats, whatever the hell, like do my thing. That was my thing for a while, and that's actually how we became friends. Cause like you know what, let me just say what's up, and then that's what happened, and then now we're homies. But like definitely copying other people, like not copying, but like just learning from people that you look up to. It's a huge thing. But I was gonna say the thing with the stigma. I feel like it's only ever perpetuated by people who keep talking about it. Like if nobody were to talk about it, I don't think anybody cares anymore. Like I genuinely believe that the only people that like perpetuate the stigma are people that ask, "What do you think about the stigma?" And it's like I don't know. I feel like we're just perpetuating a thing that doesn't really exist anymore.
I'm sure there's some old head dudes that didn't have YouTube at their disposal when they were growing up. You know, some legends even that will shit on it, being like, it's just the classic thing, like, man, you don't know how hard we had it, type of thing. Like, oh, you know, you wouldn't ever
Yeah,
come up like 90s basketball compared to now. The way they talk about him, they're still gassing Jordan after 30 years. Like LeBron's so much better, but that's another
yeah.
topic.
But Alchemist talked about it too, though, in his recent blueprint. Even he was like, "Bro, if I had this back in the day, I would have been running it up like crazy." Like
Exactly.
he's
Yeah.
getting on that shit now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like I don't know. I don't believe there is a stigma anymore. And if not, then I hope to be the change.
I just know that I've seen some like rappers tweet something like no more YouTube beats on this project. And I'm like, but why does it have to be like that? Like why can't it just be like, why can't I just use good beats? I don't know why they have to say it like that, but
That's every placement I've ever gotten was because of YouTube. Like it's not literally got my beat off of YouTube. I've had Tyga DM me off of Instagram, like a literal link, like T Raw at T Raw, like sent me a link to my own channel. It had like 10,000 views, and it said, "This hard, send a pack." It's like you never know who's watching, like at all times. Like Stoic can tell you all the time too. All the people that have DM'd him just like off of YouTube.
okay, this is an interesting question. Everybody knows what a type beat is, but how do you make a type beat? Like what's the thought process? Like do you come up with the person you want to make a type beat around before you start, or does it just happen, or where does it go?
A lot of the time, it sounds like to me that other people will do that. Like I will see people do that. That like they go so into trying to recreate that sound that it's like it's not even different at all. For us, I can speak for myself, but I'm sure it's probably the same for Pilot. Kind of just making whatever you feel like making, and then the type, the naming of it and the keywords and stuff like that comes after, and you kind of just try to match that as best as you can. I don't really go into the day ever just like saying like, oh, I really want to make a beat for this type of person. Usually, whatever beat I make that day is based off of what music I'm listening to that day or that week, because I always try to listen to music before I sit down and make music.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Like the only time I ever get stuck is trying to make a certain type of thing. Like if that's my intention, because like I said, the way this started was me producing my own album. There's no type for that. I just like even today we'll send in our group chat. We'll be like, "Yo, what type of beat do you think this
Yeah.
is?" And like sometimes we don't even have answers for each other. Like it's never been that way, and I don't know if it will ever be that way. Sometimes like halfway through when I'm through the beat, I'm like, "Oh, I could hear this," but I think Rick Rubin talked about it too. Like you just can't. You got to leave that out of it. Like for me, that's not even ever been a thought. Like one of my biggest songs with this artist, Unusual Demont, called Amber. Once that went up, everybody in the world was hitting me up for like these indie rock type of beats, and I stopped making them because I was like, "Nah, I'm not about to do that. Like, I'm just not going to do that over and over again." Like, I stopped making those type of beats because the only time I ever get beat block or I get stuck was if I try to do that.
To add on to that, for me personally, say if like my audience is really loving like a specific type of beat from me, it's almost impossible for me to sit down and hammer a beat like that out every day, because I'll start to like resent it. First of all, I don't know, something about people wanting you to do something, it's just human nature. Like I don't want to do it anymore. So I want to do what I want to do on my terms, and if you like it, that's great. If not, that's great. But I gotta do it, or else like I wouldn't be able to do this every day. It would become so boring, and like it wouldn't be fun.
That's definitely a thing with like people in like creative fields. Like whenever someone says that they like want you to do this again, you're like, actually, I'm not going to at all. That like you just want to do it for you. How have you guys like grown your personal brands as well over time? Because you Pilot, you said you started off producing your own album. How do you see your personal brand now? Is like how do you think people recognize your name?
So that's something I think about every single day at this point. Getting to this point was really technique and understanding my like ability and like really just the groundwork, like the heavy groundwork. At this point, I think the gains as far as me practicing every single day and like the little like there's like other things I could do, but the marginal gains at this point are like so small that I've done the hard work. For me, that's my focus now, like as of recently, this entire past year. So recently I started taking up DJing, and the whole point of that was because of that reason. Like I wanted to put a face to my beats, and like I wanted to come out in like places, and like basically I wanted to, tying back to Stoic's earlier point, I wanted to emulate people I look up to. So like Kate Chinada, for instance, I was at a Kalani's album release party, like I think 2 weeks ago, her latest album that released. And there goes Kate Chinada just walking in, like just moseying in, walked right in front of me. And I was like, he just like surveys the crowd, walks around, walks behind the DJ set, was talking to the DJ, shows up, does like an hour, like just DJing, and then just chills. And like in my head, I was like, bro, that's so sick. Like that's what I want. Yeah, my vision at this point is really like just doing a lot of other things outside of just producing to try and like bring that to the forefront. So like I want to be more than, I feel like producers talk about it all the time, but my goal now is to really be more of entity as opposed to a person. So like a Kenny Beats or a K Tronada or a, I don't know, a Rick Rubin or a Kanye even, you know, like those are like my idols. So like between now, I don't know if I have a specific answer, but that gap is what I'm trying to bridge now. So like visual content is one and DJing is another one. But really the way I choose to like present it to the world is how I make it mine, like personally, I would say.
Yeah, I think like there's definitely we're in a time period now where producers can be more public and like they're more of a face than like, they used to be like a behind the scenes thing. So I think it's cool to like hear your perspective on that. And Stoic, do you want to add your thoughts on that?
Yeah, for me personally, I think Jake and I have different like uh ways that we want our, like we've spoken about it before, like the ways that we want our
Mhm.
career paths to go. Um I'm kind of wanting to go down more of a road like The Alchemist or like Madlib, someone that like I can gain success just off my beats, and I could do like, a collab album with an artist that I really, really mess with. I would love that if I just had a collab, like a whole catalog, like in 10 years, 20 years of like some of the biggest names, but also like some of the people I'm the biggest fans of. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, some ways that I'm getting my, trying to get my name out there now would definitely be, taking advantage of all social media, like TikToks. I've been trying to go crazy on there this year. Granted, I only have like 5,000 followers, but like all it takes is like one video to go really crazy, like hit a million views, and you get like, I mean, the TikTok algorithm is ridiculous, and I can't tell you how many artists I found off there that I've hit up and like sent beat packs to, or just kind of connected with, or how many songs I found on there that I've actually loved. Even like people like playlist curators, and I know Dill, you're on TikTok also. I've seen your stuff too. We're connected on there. Like, I think TikTok's really great. I've been bugging Jake for like the past year to get on that, but
Yeah.
it is very annoying to get on, as anyone will tell you. But besides that, yeah, just trying to do as many things as possible to like get my name out there. I'm dropping a beat tape next week that I'm working on right now, actually just finishing it up. And the DJing, Jake kind of put me onto that, and we did a show 2 weeks ago that was really cool. Stuff like that, yeah. Staying as busy as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a bunch of opportunities that you could really pick from, which is good now with like producers and stuff. And I know you guys have each, released songs like on Spotify, like under your name, and then having the artist listed as well. Do you guys see yourself doing that more consistently? Because I think, producers didn't get credited a lot of the time until recently, probably the last couple of years, I feel like. So has that been kind of a beneficial thing, you think?
100%. We actually have one coming out like very soon.
Oh yeah.
That'll be under our artist name. So like that's just another facet that's going to be going out. And like now, I think building up the Spotify page is like a really big key, especially for producers that like, let's say you're working with a smaller artist who doesn't really have a budget. Just ask for like an artist credit and then build it up that way. You know, if they're open to it, then you guys could both go crazy. And it I don't know, it makes you more invested in the song too, I think.
I've been putting out like one a month pretty consistently, and I like it because like since my name is on it, I'm so much more in the process of the actual song making. So like, I'll go back and forth with an artist, or we'll be in the studio some of the time, but I'll go back and forth with them and just be like, oh, let's do this way and something like that, or maybe I'll add post production, and I feel like you just get a better result that way, and it also helps to get both your names out there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see more producers do that because I've already seen quite a few starting to put out their own albums and stuff, and I think it's really cool.
Cause it's up and it's stuck now. Coming from the top rope, y'all better duck down. Feeling like Brady, all about the Bucks now. Hit the gritty in the end zone, that's a touchdown.
So we focused on the positives a lot, but like what are some things that you guys tried and didn't work along the way?
I feel like everything, like
Yeah,
literally
I
every single thing I've ever done.
I think so much of it is trial and error. Like even something that sounds great on paper, like putting out a beat every day on YouTube. I tried that for like so long, and it turns out that every other day was better for me. I think like pricing your beats is important. I don't know who's listening to this that's trying to sell beats, but if you are, pricing your pricing your beats surprisingly at lower price points sells less. And it's kind of like a psychological thing. So like think about if you go into a store and you have $40 and you see a shirt for $10, or you see a shirt for $20. You're gonna assume that the $20 shirt, maybe it's a better quality, whatever. Might be the same exact shirt. But like I think that's kind of how people think of beats. They might think that they're, it's better quality or there's something more to it from seeing that higher price. And I realized that like selling them at a higher price was way better than selling like a beat for $10. More people bought it.
Anything I ever learned how to be good at was by messing up first. Like, I can't tell you how many like studio sessions I ran through that were terrible. That made me okay. We're definitely not doing that again. And like, it's the littlest thing. Like maybe okay, not stopping a beat in a session because then the artist can't think it through. Like that was something that took a long time to figure out. And like, just it could be the most subtle things. Or like, okay, next time I'm gonna use this plugin because they hated that. And then like, it's just you kind of honestly at this point, not that I pray for it to go wrong sometimes, but like I appreciate it so much more because I just learned so much. Like if everything's smooth sailing for me, that's like how I know that I'm not doing enough because like if you're messing up, like I feel like that's how you learn the fastest.
Yeah, I think that's an important point for anyone to hear. Like you have to fail to get better. That's literally how it works. Like if you don't fail, then you won't or you can't learn without failing almost. I think it's impossible. So
Yeah, that's the ceiling. That's like I feel like that's really like that applies to everybody. Like especially artists like something works. So the artist pressured by teams, which not fully the artist, but like labels and teams and saying like that, let's move off the success of this. Maybe try to make 3 more of this. And like that's how artists get pigeonholed into a sound and fall off. But it's all because of that. If you ever hit a point where you're afraid to stop trying things, you're never gonna grow. The DJ thing, like where I like the first set, even the second set, like so many things went wrong, but like I knew that going into it. Like you just have to. I think you just have to try stuff if you really want to grow and to keep growing.
what was like one opportunity that you guys had that was just like blew your mind in the moment? Like it just came out of nowhere and you were just like, holy shit, like is this real?
I think we have like, I would say me and Pilot have a similar opportunity, but we got this studio session with Paris, Texas that came up just out of like, it was this dude that I knew that like we kind of went back and forth, and it was funny because 6 months prior to that conversation, I sent one of his artists like a beat for free, and I didn't even realize who they were and like what I was doing. And he's like 6 months later, he's like, "Yo, thank you so much for that free beat. Like, I want to try to like get you back. Like, do you want to do a session with Paris, Texas?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And like, nothing's came out of that yet, but like that was like I think while we were there, um, Pilot and I, we were just like, "Wow, this is like really cool." Just to like,
Yeah,
we were just at their show at they performed that Kenny Beats show in LA a week before we had the session with them. So like we were just seeing them on the stage and then just chilling with them right after that. It was really cool.
I think for me it was I can't. The big one I can't talk about it because I signed an NDA, but you'll figure that out like towards the end of the year. But the other one I would say is like I was in LA on the 23rd, and I get a text from Snot or a DM from Snot like, "Yo, pull up to studio." Like I was like I was in the middle of something. And I was like, "All right, whatever I was doing doesn't matter anymore." And yeah, that was like that's when I heard the song for the first time and like some stuff from the album and like that was like I walked in the studio and he was in the booth. I never saw him till the end, but he had like all the effects on his chain. He's all, "Yo, what up, Pilot?" Like that, and I remember I was like, "Oh, like that was crazy." I was like, "Damn, that was dope." That was like, yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, that's awesome. They both sound really cool. Let's see what I got for some fun stuff. All right. Favorite song that you've produced?
Honestly, if it's not Enjoy one, it's this unreleased song that me and Stoic actually have with Group Therapy. Well, one of their
Oh,
artists. That's
yeah,
probably my favorite.
yeah, that one is really good. Trying to think. I got a couple tracks with the homie Araya. Um, and there's this one called Tarantino that like really, really grew on me. That was like one of the first like tracks I had that had a lot of plays. But also I got this one with my rapper friend Rayon. It's called North Face Freestyle, and that's probably like one of my. Not even that I'm so proud of it, like, but like if someone else made it, I would listen to it a lot because I really, really like it. I'm a big fan of his as well, so it was just cool getting that one out there.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. All right, you already mentioned some inspirations, but top three favorite producers.
Okay, it's Cardo. If we're talking strictly producers, not artist producers, like we're gonna leave Tyler Kanye out of it. It's gonna be Cardo. Cardo got Wanks. DJ Dahi and Knowledge for
Fire,
sure.
fire.
I gotta go. Yeah, if we're leaving out artists, producers, because I could throw definitely would throw Tyler in there as a producer, but like I'll leave him out. Um, I would say Madlib, Alchemist, and I've been on Dilla really heavy for like the past 6 months, so I'm gonna have to put him up there.
Fire. Yeah, good list for sure. Good variety in there as well. You guys have like any up and coming artists or producers that you like or you want to shout out?
Oh shit, yeah, I got a ton. Producers, this dude, he goes by Andre Lore. I believe he's from Italy. This dude makes the craziest sounds. So he's like sample maker slash producer. He might only have about 1,000 on YouTube, but like I'm always advocating for this dude anywhere, anytime I can. He is amazing. Like once he pops off, like he's gonna be big, big. But for right now, I'm very happy with him just sending me samples, and I get to use them whenever I want. But nah, that's the homie.
Araya for sure. Araya's so fire, bro. Um, Wakai, Group Therapy.
Yeah.
This dude Noah Guy who's insane, doing like some. He's on some like Motown, like new age Motown. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of Duran Jones. He's on some vibes like that. It's like new oldies type shit, like crazy as hell.
I'll shout out
Who's
my guy
some?
Bardo. I think Bardo is gonna be Bardo Beats, his name is.
Yeah,
Gonna be crazy.
18.
Yeah, I mean those two dudes, and Jokic, if we're talking those dudes,
Yeah,
um, they got the craziest work ethics. Like this dude Bardo dropped a beat for like 500 days straight on YouTube and like quality stuff, like really good. Um, and he's sitting at about like 3,000 subs right now, but I feel like by this time next year he'll probably have like 50,000. Like the dude is he's getting crazy, like he's growing like a crazy amount by the day, by the week. So
oh, my guy Ty Jake. Ty Jake is a genius.
Jake's,
Remember this name.
yeah,
Ty Jake is the dog.
Nice. Yeah. I like the Wakai shout out. I'm a big fan of Wakai. I think his last album is crazy. So I definitely think he's on the come up. And I think it's cool that you guys are like working with these artists that are on the come up as well. I think the next generation of artists is starting to pop up. You guys are already connected with them and stuff too, which is exciting. You guys each have a dream collab with like one person. Who would it be?
Earl.
Kanye.
Yeah, I mean those are both legends. I feel like yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Like I don't think that they've really like put out anything like bad ever. So
I got a funny story real quick. I met Earl when I was in LA, at the Grove, and I bumped into him and I stopped whatever he was doing. He stopped whatever he was doing just to talk to me, and I was like, "Yo, listen, I'm like a huge fan. My name is Stoic. I make a ton of beats for you. I'm like, my beats are all over YouTube, whatever." I was like, "Do you want to check any out?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't got time right now, man, but like send me an Instagram, a DM on Instagram." Basically means like fuck off. But I was like, "All right, bet, bro, I got you." But it was just really cool to speak to him. I feel like I'll see him again, but yeah, that was a cool interaction.
yeah, you never know what would come out of that stuff, you know. So all right, anything you guys got on the way you want to mention for people to check out?
Have a track dropping probably like next month. DJ sets, the stuff that's coming, you will definitely hear about it. I don't have dates for anything, but I have a lot of things in the pipeline that are dropping that you guys will find out.
For sure. I mean, we got that one together with us and Jabu Grabiel,
hmm
called Saturday. That one's gonna be
hmm
a summer anthem. I got this beat tape coming out. I'm shooting for next Monday. Hopefully, if there's no issues. I got a track with Wakai coming soon that I'm really excited about. Gonna be a good year.
Yeah, for sure. Excited to see what you guys got. Make sure you guys go check them out. I'll have everything linked in the description. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Cool. Thanks for having us, bro.
Yeah, for sure.